Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Danielle. I have a 2-year-old son and I'm currently 35 weeks pregnant. If you haven't subscribed already, I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel and like this video if you enjoy it. Let's get into the video. Today is my 35-week pregnancy update. So let's start off with baby and see what the app's saying. So the app is saying the protective fat layer will make up to 15% of your baby's weight at birth. Your baby's gums have ridges that look a bit like teeth. And your baby's cheeks are developing fat. The cheek muscles are also developing, creating that lovely chubby appearance. And baby is weighing about 5.78 pounds and 47.4 centimeters according to the app. So how am I doing this week? So I've had quite a lot of emotional changes, if I'm honest with you, but let's start with the physical symptoms. So I'm still getting really bad heartburn. Yeah, it's really severe. So I'm getting it at the end of the day, I'm getting it at night time. I can't sleep because it's so bad. I'm taking like Gaviscon and things like that for it, but it just doesn't seem to be doing anything at all. And I just have to keep getting up, keep sipping water, because it is just like, I mean, if you're pregnant and you know, it's like fire literally in your chest, in your throat, and it's not nice at all. Sleep insomnia still continuing. Some nights, last night was awful. I just couldn't sleep at all. Firstly, it was because my mind was just going like 10 to a dozen and thinking about everything. But also then I had acid, and then when I tried to get to sleep, my hips would start hurting me and like just my bottom half. And then when I try and turn over, I get such a bad pain in sort of the bottom area, sort of lower area, whatever you want to call it. I've also been getting at night, which has been disturbing my sleep as well, really hot feet. I have read that it's quite normal in later pregnancy, and I remember having it with Henry as well. And what I have to do is I have to get like a tea cloth or something like that, and then I have to put water on it and then just lay it on my feet because they just feel so uncomfortable and hot. I did read the reason for it, but I can't actually remember what it said. But yeah, that's been quite a bit of an annoying symptom this week. My energy levels are like up and down. I feel like I go to this sort of nesting mode where I'm like, I want to get everything done and I want to get everything done now, and then like a moment later I will completely dip and I will feel so tired and exhausted. So I kind of feel like I'm up and down all the time. I've either got lots of energy or I'm just completely sort of zonked out and just have no energy and just want to sleep. What I will say is this week I have felt very, very emotional. The hormones have been really kicking in this week, and I've cried a lot. I've cried about silly things. I've cried because I'm worrying about having my C-section. There's just been so many things that I've just been really emotional about, and I think with it getting closer to the time now, I think these sort of things start playing on your mind a little bit more, and you do become a little bit more emotional about it because like the reality's hitting, because you were obviously so excited about meeting this, you know, beautiful baby, but it's also a very, very scary time as well. And I remember when I was pregnant with Henry, it was the unknown, and I kind of went in there thinking that it was going to be like a bed of roses, so I wasn't really scared of birth or anything like that, and it was like just really traumatic, but at least I kind of was not worried so much. But now because I've been through it before and I know how difficult it can be, it has made me a little bit scared. Also had our antenatal appointment this week, And it's really, really difficult because everybody works so hard in the NHS, and I don't want to say anything negative because I've always had like a really positive experience, but this time I felt like it's not been as positive. My last 2 appointments were running about 40 minutes late, which is absolutely fine. You know, I completely understand that. But this week when I went in, I felt like I was just being rushed out the door because they were running late. And there were things that I wanted to talk about which I felt were just being brushed under the carpet, and there was no sort of conversation about birth plans or anything like that. It was just dum out the door. And I mentioned before, I think it was around about June, I had my bloods taken like everybody does to check their iron, and it come back that I was anemic. So the only response I got to that was when I rang the doctors, there was a note saying, you're anemic, but your midwife said you know what to do. I didn't know what to do, but I just thought you just take iron tablets, so that's what I did. So that was fine. And then it's come to this week, and I've mentioned to my midwife, I said, you know, previously it said that I've got anemia. Do I have to get tested again for it, just to make sure it's not getting worse? And she said, oh yeah, we should have done that ages ago. I'll do it today. So that kind of was like, oh okay. And then she mentioned something about, because I'm having an operation, because I'm having a cesarean, because obviously your iron's to do with your anemia and iron and things to do with like blood and things like that. I don't really know the ins and outs, but it can be an issue when you go into surgery. So I'm like, so we've kind of left this where it could become a bit of an issue. And so I panicked then. I was like, oh, so it's going to be an issue, is it? She was like, oh no, we'll just make sure it's sorted before, but we're kind of like, my next appointment's not going to be till 37 weeks. So that was, yeah, that worried me. I'm not going to lie, I come out like really worried about it, and I said to Dan, I don't think I can have this cesarean, I'm just so scared now. So hopefully the blood's come back, and I'm hoping I'm not anemic anymore, but if I am, we're just going to have to take it from there and just see how. I also then got a little bit concerned because obviously when you first go in, what we do is you give your urine to the midwife, she goes and tests it, and then you carry on with all your other stuff. Now, like I said, I felt like I was trying to be rushed out the door as quick as possible. So as she was booking my next appointment, I said to her, oh, did my urine come back okay? Because last appointment I had glucose in it, so I wanted to make sure it wasn't in there. And she said, oh yeah, it's fine, you've just got protein in there. And I was like, oh okay. And I said, oh, that concerns me a little bit actually, because my hands had felt swollen, and there was a couple of other things as well which I was a bit concerned about with related to preeclampsia, is that the word? And then obviously another symptom of that is protein in your urine. So I mentioned this to her, and she said, oh well, if you're concerned, just call the maternity assessment unit. It's like, I am concerned, I'm kind of mentioning it now. But yeah, I don't want to be too negative about all that, but it was just my experience this week and how I felt a few times on my appointments and things like that. So I kind of came out there feeling a bit deflated and not really knowing what was going on. Like, there was these kind of a couple of red flags, like I hadn't had my blood taken yet, and you know, anemia and surgery, and then I had protein in my urine and these other things, but like I came out not knowing anything. And yeah, so I think that kind of put a little bit of a downer on me as well, because I just come out feeling a bit frightened, and it was the unknown of there's these few things which have come up, but I don't really know what's happening with it, if it's okay, you know. On a bit of a more of a positive, obviously baby's doing really well. Heartbeat was brilliant. Her knee is right, you see my stomach, but her knee was right up here, and she was like, oh, no wonder you can't breathe. She was like, I can feel the knee right there, and I haven't been able to breathe. She's the baby's head down, which I thought the baby was head down, because when she wiggles sometimes I literally feel a jab on my bladder, and like an instant urge to go for a wee, even though I haven't needed to go for one. I just get this instant urge when her head starts, you know, bobbing around sometimes. Also, I was concerned before about how big my bump was growing, but she seems to sort of like being on an even line now, so that was good, because I thought we might have to go for a growth scan. So fingers crossed, she's kind of calmed down a bit now and she's just growing at an even rate, which was really positive. Baby's movements have been fantastic, hurting a lot, but I don't care, because as long as I can feel her move, then, you know, it's all great. And I joke with Dan and say she's going to be the hyper one, because Henry's quite sensitive, and when I was pregnant with him, I used to have to try and get him to move all the time, because he was like quite a quiet baby inside, and this baby is like the opposite. She's having parties every night, and you know, I can feel fists here and elbows here and everything. So yeah, we do joke and say, you know, she's gonna be the hyper one. Exciting things this week is I've nearly packed my hospital bag. I'm so excited, and every time I get something new for my hospital bag, I'm like, oh, I gotta go pack it. And I'm really excited about it. I've got a big case this time, which is not ideal, but I have no idea where my small one is. We used the small one last time, but I just don't know where it is. So I think we're just going to put everything just in one case, and then just take like a rucksack with snacks, notes, water, things we need sort of instantly. So yeah, that's nearly done, so I'm really excited about that. We've got the cots up. So this, you see the one behind me, this is the baby's nursery, which we haven't quite finished decorating yet, but we've put the cot up. But this is what she's going to go in when she's about 6 months old, and she sort of like moves rooms. We've got, if you see it here, it's got something in it. We've got that, brought that, so that's to go downstairs for when the baby wants a nap or anything like that. And then we've got the Chico next to me crib, which was what Henry had, and we're just going to get a new mattress for that, but we've got that down from the loft, cleaned it, and that's up in the bedroom. The car seat's downstairs, so I'm going to get Dan to put that in the car at some point. So yeah, I'm feeling just really excited. Like, I know there's been a little bit of, you know, negativity or sort of a lot of emotions this week, but that outweighs all of it. You know, the excitement of the baby being here soon outweighs all of that, and it's more that, you know, anxious of just making sure this baby's okay, which I think every mother gets. And it's, you know, it's completely normal to have these weeks where, you know, you're not feeling on top of the world. It's okay to have weeks where you just feel a little bit down and emotional and overwhelmed with everything. But before I go, I kind of want to give you a bump update, because I keep forgetting to do these bump updates, so let's do that now. So this is the bump here. She's feeling very big. I don't know whether, I don't think I mentioned that although I'm getting a lot of pressure at the top, I am getting a hell of a lot of pressure at the bottom as well. So I don't know whether she's starting to engage or not. I feel a lot more pressure down there than I did with Henry. So maybe she's starting to engage, but it's also exciting. And you know, if you're on a similar journey to me as well, if you're pregnant, I hope you're all doing really well. I hope you're all doing really well anyway. Like I mentioned at the start of my video, if you haven't already, I'd love it if you could subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.